Hi children, today we are going to discuss about Indian economy on the basis of terms of employment. We already discussed Indian economy is divided into two on the basis of terms of employment. Which are they? Organized sector and unorganized sector. Okay, so on the basis of terms of employment, Indian economy is divided into organized sector and unorganized sector. Unorganized sector. So let us start our class by example of two people, Kanta and Kamal. Okay, so at first we can discuss about Kanta. Kanta works in an office and she attends her work at 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Then at the end of each month she is getting salary, and apart from this salary she is getting provident fund as per the rules laid down by the government, and Sunday is holiday for her and she is getting paid leaves, and in the holidays she is getting payment, and she is getting many other benefits also. She is getting some medical allowances, and her job has security also. She has regular job. When she was appointed in her job, she got an appointment letter. In that it is written all the terms and conditions she has to follow in her job. That is one situation. That is the situation of Kanta. Okay. Next we can discuss about the situation of Kamal. Okay. Kamal is the neighbor of Kanta and he is working as a wage laborer in a grocery shop, and he has to start his work at 7:30 a.m. in the morning and till 8:30 he has to work. And he is not getting any benefits from his employer. That means he is getting very low wage, and he is not getting any provision for overtime, and he is not getting any medical allowances, provident fund, gratuity, etc. If he is having less job, sometime he has to leave his job. That means sometime his employer says to leave the job, he has to leave it, and some seasons also he is not having job. That time also he has to leave his job when the employer says. That is the condition of Kamal, and he is not given any letter to telling that he has been working in that shop. Okay, that is the condition of Kamal. Okay, now you heard about two situations, right children? Okay, what is the difference you can find in these two situations? Yes, we can find that Kanta works in an organized sector, isn't it? So first we can discuss about organized sector. Okay, organized sector. Okay, first we can discuss about organized sector. What is organized sector? Organized sector is a place or enterprises where the terms of employment is regular. Okay, so what is organized sector? Organized sector is a place or enterprises where the terms of employment is regular. Okay, here terms of employment is regular. So they have assured work. So the workers have assured work, and it is registered by government. So they have to follow all the rules and regulations given by government. Okay, so they have to follow the rules and regulations. Rules and regulations. They have to follow some of the act, some of the laws given by government. The act like Factories Act. Some of the laws they have to follow, they are Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment for Gratuity Act, Shop and Establishment Act, etc. So these are the some acts they have to follow, and their job is secure. They have security in their job. So their job has security, and they have to work only at a fixed time. They have to work at a fixed time. And suppose they are doing any overtime, so they have to do some overtime work, then the employer need to pay for that. Okay, so that is the condition of organized sector. And we know many of the people in the organized sectors are not appointed by anyone. They are doing their own work, but they have to register in the government, and they have to follow all the rules and regulations given by government. And this organized sector gets so many benefits. They are enjoying many benefits, such as provident fund. They are getting provident fund, gratuity, paid leaves, payment for holidays, etc. This all are some of the benefits they are enjoyed. Then we know some of the other benefits also they are getting. That means the employer need to provide safe drinking water to them, and they have to provide a safe working environment to the people. And we know why then if they are retiring from the job, the employer should give pension also. They should give pensions also to the workers, those who are working in the organized sector. Why it is called organized sector? Because it follows some process and procedures. I hope everybody understood about organized sector. Okay, then let us discuss about unorganized sector. Okay, yes, next is about unorganized sector. Unorganized sector. Unorganized sector. Okay, so we studied Kamal works in an unorganized sector, isn't it? What is unorganized sector? Unorganized sectors are small and scattered units. They are mainly outside of the control of government. They are outside the control of government. Understood? So what is unorganized sector? Unorganized sectors are small and scattered units. Scattered units. They are largely outside the control of government. Outside the control of government. Okay, then they have to follow some rules and regulations, but they are not following these rules and regulations. Then they are not following these rules and regulations, and this job, the workers, those who are working in the unorganized sector, they are getting only very low wage. So what is the another point we can find? Yes, they are getting low wage, and they are not getting any benefits, So we already discussed organized sector get many benefits, but these people, those who are working in the unorganized sector are not getting any benefits like paid holiday, they are not getting paid leaves and leave payment for holidays, isn't it? There is no provision for overtime also. They are not getting any extra payment from their job, and they are only getting very low wage, but they have to work at more time, they have to work also. So there is no security for their job, no security, and they are not getting any benefit given by the government. They are not getting any medical allowances, and any season, that means some season they are not getting any job, their job will be less. That time they ask to leave the job by their employers. So they can't say anything because there is no security for their job. So the people, those who are working in the unorganized sectors, they work themselves. For example, selling in the streets, repairing works, etc. And some of the farmers work their own land, and they hire some laborers as they required. So these are this much you have to study about unorganized sector. So I hope you understood unorganized sector. So in the people, those who are working in the unorganized sector do not have any security, and it is no security and their job is not regular, and they get very low wage, and they are not enjoyed by any benefits, okay, and they are not getting overtime benefits also. Okay, these are the things you have to learn about unorganized sector. So I hope all of you understood about organized sector and unorganized sector. So let us discuss how to protect the people, those who are working in the unorganized sector. Okay, so our next topic is how to protect the people worked in the unorganized sector. How to protect the people working in the unorganized sector. Let us discuss about how to protect the people working in the unorganized sector. So we already discussed organized sector offers job. So these employment opportunities in the organized sectors are expanding slowly. So we can find that many organized enterprises are in the unorganized sectors. Why they adopt these strategies? They adopt these strategies to evade tax. Evade tax means avoid taxes and refuse to follow the law that protect the laborers. For that, many of the organized enterprises came in the unorganized sector. As a result of it, a large number of people started to work in the unorganized sector with this low payment. They are getting very low wage, and they do not have any security in their job. They are not getting regular job. They are not getting any benefit from their employer. During 1920s, a large number of people lost their job in the organized sector. So, this large number of people started to work in the unorganized sector. So, with this low payment, so these people so the large number of services and jobs need to be provided, isn't it? So, there is a need for support and protection of the protection for the people, those who are working in the unorganized sector. Okay, so let us discuss who need to be protected. So, next topic we have to discuss who has to be protected. Who has to be protected. So, let us discuss about rural areas. In rural areas, unorganized sector comprises agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, and artisans like blacksmith, goldsmith, weavers, carpenters, etc. They have to be protected. Then more than 80% of rural household is we can find small and marginal farmer category. So, these farmers need to be protected, isn't it? So, how the government can protect these farmers? Yes, government can protect these farmers by providing agricultural inputs. They can provide agricultural inputs, and they can provide credits. Then storage facility, marketing facility, etc. Marketing facility, etc. So, the government can protect the farmers by doing this. In the urban area, how these which are the people should be protected? So, in the urban area, next we can discuss about urban area. In the urban area, unorganized sectors comprises of small scale industries and some casual workers. Small scale industries and some casual workers like construction, trade, transport, etc. Trade, transport, etc. So, in the urban areas, we should protect the people like small industries, the people working in the small industries, construction, trade, transport, etc. Government have to protect the small scale industries. How the government can protect the small scale industries? Yeah, government can protect small scale industries by providing raw materials and marketing facilities for marketing output, etc. So, the casual workers in both rural and urban areas need to be protected and supported. Okay, then we know some of the people, those who are considered as backward classes, that means scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people. How they should be protected? They also working in the unorganized sector, isn't it? They are working in the unorganized sector and they are getting very low wage, and they are not getting regular job also. So, they also face the problem of social discrimination. So, it is the government should give protection and support to the people, those who are working in the unorganized sector for the social and economic development. Okay. So, I hope everybody understood about Indian economy on the basis of terms of employment. Okay. So, today we discussed Indian economy on the basis of terms of employment and how to protect the people working in the unorganized sector. Okay. So, home assignment we will discuss through WhatsApp. So, I am winding up today's class. Bye.